Debba 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 debba, hoi hoi hoi. Hey everybody, DataBard here with a quick message wanting to address something that's come up in recent questions on my channel. Some people have been taking a look at my SSMS Copilot experiment series. Take a look at that, and I'm really focusing on database-focused AI augmented development using a tool that directly has access to your database and can therefore help you more strongly than basic solutions like an LLM hosted in ChatGPT or other solutions that can't see your database. One of the questions that does come up, though, is what does this mean as far as knowledge that we should have as data professionals? If I can just tell AI to do exactly what I want it to do, does that mean I don't need to know my job anymore? Here's your big message for today. Your knowledge is more important now than it ever was before. For this reason, AI can help you be faster, but it can't help you be smarter. And you need to be the one who knows what the AI solution does not. You take a look at my series, and what I've consistently found is AI is very good at understanding technical capabilities. It doesn't understand the concepts. It doesn't understand the principles of just why we do what we do. It only understands how to do things. And that is a very important gap in its knowledge. This means that it is incredibly important for you as a developer to make sure that you know more about how to do things in a database world than artificial intelligence does. Because in the end, you're responsible for your code. The AI solution is not. A good example was in the ETL design and implementation videos within this series. I'm trying to design a pattern, trying to do things with merge statements, staging tables, being prepared to implement slowly changing dimension type 2 in my ETL. And there, in the midst of it, it presented me with an output clause. I've worked with the SQL language for well over 10 years at this point. I didn't know an output clause existed in the language, but it presented it to me. And you'll see what I did there. I did not accept that code because I had an idea in mind already of how I wanted to implement my ETL, what sort of principles I wanted to have my ETL pattern to follow. I did some research after the fact to evaluate that clause, and it turns out that wasn't going to support the solution I was looking for. Not only that, it didn't make sense for my pattern. So again, I had to make the choice, does this fit my vision for the code? And if it doesn't, don't accept that code. Keep working with the Copilot to refine your code base until you get it to just where you want it to be. Secondly, you know what your business users' problems genuinely are, and you can see what the conceptual problems that the AI itself may not be able to solve. You can see this especially in the create test data video that I created, because there especially I wanted it to create actual test data, things that legitimately made sense in terms of employees and other information. And it technically solved the problem, right? It was able to create SQL scripts that successfully inserted data into the database. But did it make sense when it was just constantly iterating, doing employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 4? Low testing and performance needs, it would have been able to test it just fine. But if I wanted to do a legit looking test scenario that I want to put in front of business users, it wouldn't make sense. Why? Because that's a conceptual idea, that's not a technical idea. That's where we as humans are going to understand why we do what we do. What is the point of storing all this employee and sales transactions and regional information? How is it going to show up in a report? Your AI isn't going to know that. You are going to know that. That's all the more why it's important for us to understand not just technically what is the problem we're trying to solve, but conceptually, what is the actual real life problem we're trying to solve that a technical solution is helping with the solution thereof. So in short, does our knowledge matter anymore? Yes, very yes, 100 times over, yes. If anything, the age of AI makes it that our knowledge as humans is so much more important than it was before, to the point that we need to make sure we make time for us to grow our knowledge. You can think of it the same way that we've had to do research for many years. When you're researching a topic, you don't just take one source and assume that that is true. You have to go to multiple sources and make sure that it is accurate. When you've worked on this long enough, you've got a bunch of sources in your head that you've learned over the years. But if it's something that is brand new to you, it means the same thing as research you've been doing since your early school days. You have to check multiple sources to make sure that it's accurate. Scientific method is all well and good, but what's the one thing it needs more so than what we do today? More time to look at more sources and to get more insight. This isn't just you get one response from an LLM solution, assume it's accurate, and you're really just confirming bias. We need to research more in depth so that we can grow our brains more. Here's my advice. Take a look at what you're doing for work today. Find opportunities where artificial intelligence can speed up some of your work, and take that extra time to do more research. Expand your knowledge base so you can be better prepared to use AI more effectively, because you want to be smarter than artificial intelligence. Otherwise, those all bad movie scenarios that we joke about, that's how we get there. Keep sharpening the toolset of your brain and make sure that you are using your artificial intelligence with smarts, knowledge, and appropriate ethics. Hopefully this gives you a couple of tidbits to think about, and if you have thoughts on the matter too, I'd love to hear about it. Sound off in the comments and let me know what your thoughts are on the topic. I'd love to continue this discussion there. Have any other questions about AI usage? Let me know down there as well. I'll do my best to answer those questions in future videos. For now, I'm DataBard, and I'll see you in the next chapter.